Today I'm going to show you guys how to set up a loyalty program from scratch for your Shopify store. Now for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be setting up the loyalty program with Mage Loyalty. So you can install Mage Loyalty directly here from the App Store to your store. So let me jump straight in to Shopify here. So once you've got the app installed, you can jump into the loyalty app directly. And then we're going to see this overview dashboard here. I've obviously not got too many stats because this is a mostly fresh program. So for you, you won't see anything here just yet. So let's jump into the loyalty tab on the left here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to set up our earning rules and our rewards. So to start with, I'm just going to turn the program off. So I'll disable the loyalty program whilst I configure everything. And then when everything's done at the end, I'll go and turn it back on. So by default, we have these two rules which exist already. So this is the purchase earning rule. This is already configured to reward 1 point for every dollar spent. So I'm going to keep it like that just to keep things simple because I'm pretty happy with that already. The second earning rule that we've got by default is the sign up earning rule. So again, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to leave this so that we're giving points when customers join the loyalty program. So if I hit add earning rule here, we can see all of the different things that we can reward for. Birthdays, SMS, reviews. It's pretty comprehensive. You can reward for pretty much every action. And if there's not anything there, we've got a custom action option here as well. So let's start off with a simple one. I think a birthday reward is ideal. So I'm going to reward 50 points for a birthday. And then for the date of birth eligibility period, this is how many days in advance a customer needs to actually provide their birthday in order to reward the points. So this prevents a customer from being able to enter their birthday as today's date and then immediately get the points. So I'm going to leave that as 7 as I think that's reasonable. And then we've got a few options here as well where we can award higher birthday points based on VIP tiers, but for now I'm going to leave that and we'll come back to that later. So now I've got my birthday earning rule set up. I'm going to jump in and set up a follow on Instagram earning rule. I think it's really good to set up all of your socials. So we support Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, X, pretty much every social platform is supported. So I'm going to jump into the follow on Instagram earning rule. Again, I'm going to give 50 points for following on Instagram. And for the approval time, I'm going to give an instant approval. There is a natural delay built in. So when a customer does actually activate this earning rule, it will take around a couple of minutes or so just before those points are awarded. And that's just to prevent people from following you on Instagram and then immediately unfollowing you just for the points. So although we say it's instant approval, there is a slight delay built in just to make sure that that follow sticks. So let's add that in there. So I'm pretty happy with this at a base level. Purchase, sign up, birthday, Instagram. If you want to make this more comprehensive, you can do it very easily just by setting up every individual earning rule directly here. But let's jump in and have a look at the reward configuration. So if we go to add reward here, we've got discount, free shipping, and free product. So let's jump in and set up a discount reward. For the sake of this video, I'm going to go with a fixed discount reward because it's the most simple to understand. There's two redemption types that we offer on fixed discount rewards. There's a set amount, which is your classic, say $5 off, $10 off, and you would set a points cost on that. So say you'd say 100 points is $10 off. When a customer has 100 points, they can redeem a $10 off discount. But what's becoming quite popular is this flexible discount reward. So what this means is you can set how much a point is worth. So for this case, let's say if we're awarding 50 points for a follow, I'm going to say that per point should be worth 0.03. Okay, and we're awarding 1 point per dollar spent. So this effectively works out at around a 3% cashback rate. So for every dollar that a customer spends, if they get 1 point and that point is worth 3 cents, they're effectively getting 3% cashback back on their purchases. So let's go ahead with that. I'll keep the minimum redemption at 1 and let's set a maximum redemption at 3,000, which would give us, in fact, let's round this up because we do the calculation here. So let's actually make this a little bit bigger and let's give customers a max redemption of $150. So if a customer saves up 5,000 points, they can redeem up to 5,000 at a time for a discount of $150. Now there's a few other filters that we can add, like specific collections, specific products. So if you want to limit the discount code to a specific product, you can select that directly here. And the same for collections as well. You can have collection-based discounts. But for the sake of this, to make it easy, I'm just going to do all products. And then again, we can set discount combinations. We can apply this discount to subscriptions or both. We can set minimum spend and how long the reward is valid for. Again, I'm pretty happy with the defaults here. I'm happy with this just being a one-time purchase. My store doesn't do subscriptions, so I don't need that. So I'm going to go ahead and save that discount. Okay, so now we've set up at a base level our ways to earn and the ways that our customers will redeem. So we can see that exactly here. So now what I want to do is jump in and have a look at referrals. So if we come in on the left here to referrals, we want to create a referral campaign. So if I jump straight in here, we have a no-code builder. I've pre-set up a small design here, but this is slightly outdated with the design of our current website, which you can see uses this more green aesthetic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the color pickers here. So this, again, this can be done with no code. So if I jump back to my website, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to color pick my primary color, and I'm going to change the title to this color. So I've got the green, and then let's also maybe adjust the button background as well, and the button border. I don't want a border, so I'm just going to match it to my button background. And then again, the input background, rather than that cream color, I think I'll just go for an offset gray, just like that. Okay, cool. So now that you've designed your referral campaign, you can click through all of the different views. I can see here I've just missed one of the buttons here, which I think is done with CSS. So again, this is a good opportunity to explain that if you do want to write custom CSS to design your referral campaign and you don't want to use the no-code tool, you can do it here directly with CSS. Some people like to have a bit more control. So I'll just change this color here to that green color so that it matches, and then I'll hit save directly up here. So again, you can see I've got all of the different views here that the customer will see as they go through the share process. So the sign up, when they're actually sharing their link, when their friend is about to claim their reward, and then what the friend will see when they get their referred discount code. Okay, so now that's set up, I'm going to jump back out of this and we'll put that on the website later on in this video. The last thing I want to set up is VIP tiers. So if I jump in on the left here to VIP tiers, I have pre-set up some of these. Now by default, there will be tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. If you want to add more tiers, you can simply hit add tier and you can add in another tier. For this video, I'm just going to stick with the 3 that I've got. So if I jump into the base tier, you can see we can set a tier icon or we can just have a tier color. I'm going to stick with the tier color because it looks good and it works. Now, the base tier cannot be adjusted because you need to have an entry-level tier. So in this tier, we can't actually set any entry requirements because everyone by default will be in this tier. So if we jump into the second tier, you can see we've set a requirement of 250 points earned. So what that means is that a customer will need to earn 250 points through the loyalty program before they are eligible to enter this tier. And if they do actually refund any of their orders, we do deduct those points, so they will be demoted down automatically so that you're not rewarding customers who aren't essentially loyal to the brand. So all of that is covered. So again, I'm already happy with how this is set up here. You can see we can also set other criteria on how we do VIP tiers. If you don't want to do it on points, you can do it based on minimum spend, or you can do it on orders, or you can even do it on a combination of all of them, however you like to. Then we have the option for a point multiplier. So again, I've just got this set to 1 because I don't want to do any point multiplication. But if you do want to give higher tier members more points, more rewards, you can do that. I've also got an entry reward configured, so this means that when a customer enters this tier, they're going to be awarded immediately this $5 off reward, and they only get that one time ever for entering the tier. That doesn't get re-awarded every time they enter the tier, they can only ever earn that once. So if they get demoted for whatever reason and they re-enter that tier, they're not eligible to get that reward again. And of course, you can configure this reward the same as all of our other rewards with all the settings that you might need. So let me jump out of the tiers here. And again, I've got my highest tier here. And in fact, I have actually set a point multiplier here. So people in the highest tier will earn 2x points. And again, I've got unlimited free shipping for my highest tier members. Again, if you want to set up different tier rewards, you just simply add the reward here, and it's exactly the same as creating a normal reward, but it's locked off to these VIP tier members. So what we'll do is we'll save the changes on everything that we've done, and we'll jump out of this. The point multiplier is applying to purchases only, so the 2x multiplier is not applying on things like the Instagram follow, so that's exactly what I want. If I come into program settings here on the left, you can see that we've got a variety of options here. Now, I'm going to disable the VIP tier system so that I can actually show you these. So we've got the entry method into the VIP tiers. Now, this is currently functioning off of points earned, but you can do this, as I said, on amount spent, number of orders, or if you come into advanced here, you can actually set it on advanced criteria. So you could do points earned and $100 spent, or you could do points earned or dollars spent. So it's pretty advanced what you can do there. And then the tier progress expiry, this essentially defines when your customers' tiers will expire. So how long they last for. We've got three options here. We've got lifetime, calendar year, and rolling year. Lifetime lasts forever, calendar year resets on January 1st each year, and rolling year runs on a rolling 12-month window with the criteria that they need to meet. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and discard those changes because I was happy with everything I've got set up. So I've got points, lifetime, and I've got my 3 tiers. So now we've got VIP tiers, and let me turn this back on as well. We've got referrals and we've got loyalty. So let me now turn on, now that this is set up, and also, in fact, just one more point I missed out is points expiry. You can see here I've got points expiry turned on, so I reset their points 365 days after earning. However, if a customer makes a purchase, we do in fact reset that so that every time they make a purchase, they get to keep their points for an extra 365 days. But if you don't want that, you can just do it independently as well. But I'm going to leave it on last purchase date. It's also worth mentioning we do have email templates built in, so you can automatically send all of these emails when a customer earns points. For now, I'm not going to turn these on and set these up, but if you do want to do this, it's super easy just to turn them on here. Okay, so now that you've got your base loyalty program set up, so in our case, we've got loyalty, we've got referrals turned on, and we've got VIP tiers. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and design the front end store. So if I jump into online store here on the left hand side, and then if we go to our theme here, I'm going to hit edit theme. That's going to take me into Shopify's theme editor. Now I've already added a rewards page in my nav bar. So if we come here to the loyalty program page, you can see it's a completely blank, fresh page. And I've assigned a template to this page as well called loyalty page. If you don't have that, just create a template here and call it loyalty program or loyalty page, whatever you want. So for this case, I'm just going to stick with loyalty page. And then what we can do is we can click on add section here, come to apps, and then we're going to find the Mage loyalty app blocks here. And I always like to start the top off with a hero banner. So I'm going to add in a hero banner at the top here. I'm going to go for well, there's 2 designs here, so I can do a 2-column or a centered. I'm going to go for centered design. Don't worry if it looks a little bit odd whilst you're doing this. We'll sort out all of the design at the end. We're just going to get the blocks on the page for now. So now that I've got the hero banner in, I'm going to go ahead and add in another block now. Now, normally directly beneath the hero banner, I like to have the how it works section. So I'm going to add that in here. Now down here, I've got how it works. So you can see this has got a base design on it already. And then I'm going to add in the next block. Normally beneath how it works, I like to have the activity overview block. Now, when a customer is logged in, you can actually have it so that this how it works block doesn't show. So if you see here, this hide when logged in, we can just check that. And that means when a customer's logged in, they're not going to see this because they'll probably already know how this works anyway. And then I've got my activity log here. So this just gives the points log. Now beneath this, I'm going to add in my rewards. So if we just come here to your rewards, I'm going to add that. And then again, beneath your rewards, I'm going to go add another block and I'm going to go for ways to earn. And this is all of the ways to earn that we set up earlier, you can see here. And now beneath ways to earn, I'm going to add in another block, and that's going to be ways to redeem. So you can see here, I've now got ways to earn, ways to redeem. Then lastly, at the very end, I'm going to add in the VIP tier benefits table. And then if I just add in one more here, actually just beneath that, I'm going to add the referral campaign. So that gives us a base layout. So you can see the design is going to look a little bit weird because we need to actually set up the page correctly. But we've got a standard base design here that we can work with. Okay, so I just paused there whilst I sorted out my theme. So now you can see I've got the base design down on the page. So it looks like this out the box. It's very simple. It needs to be styled. Obviously this one we already styled in the app, but now all of the other blocks, they need to have their styling applied. So for example, let's just look at the loyalty hero here. In fact, before we do this, I can show you the page looks something like this in preview mode. So this is the logged in view because I'm currently logged into my account, but if I log out now, I can show you how it looks. So this is how the page looks in the logged out view on the front end store. So again, it hasn't been styled yet, so it's just using its base styling. But this is exactly how it is. You can see everything that we added in. Some of it is pre-populated. So we've got our VIP tiers here with the multiplier and some of the benefits. And we've got the referral block that we made earlier as well. So let's jump back in and just apply some basic styling to this. So for the background image on the hero, I'm just going to go through my images and find something suitable like this. And that is going to give a nice overlay like that. Then if we jump in as well, we can adjust the colors. So let's have a look here. So I'm happy with the white text. Let's change the button background to our dark green. And then you can see that our background color for the button has changed, but we still need to change the text color. So let's just make that white as well. So now we've got our on-brand button color and our login button, as well as our background image. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think ideally in an ideal world, we'd probably use some custom CSS to go and edit this to bring it more on brand, but that would take a long time to go into. But if you want to, you can use AI or you can write some CSS yourself just to style this how you might want. Let's have a look at the next section, how it works. That's pretty straightforward. I'm pretty happy with this. I might just bring maybe the icon colors more in line with the brand, but I'm gonna do that with CSS shortly. Then I've got here my activity log. Again, this is pretty good out the box. I think I can probably just set the table color to our brand color, and I'm pretty happy with how that one looks. So I probably won't need to style this. The rewards section, this one I'm going to style shortly. This is just a preview here with CSS, but maybe for now I might just adjust the button color. So let's actually get that on our brand color. So we've got that on the dark green just for some consistency. And then again, we've got our ways to earn here. I like to actually change the icon weight to thin. I think it looks a bit better. So let me just set that. That will reload, and this is going to look like this. Again, I'm going to style this with CSS. Same for ways to redeem. I'm going to style that with CSS. And the VIP tier benefits table, I'm happy with that. And then our refer a friend is already looking good styled in the app. So I'm going to hit save here, and then let's jump over to the website, refresh, and see how that looks. So this is our hero header. I think one thing I'm going to do is just adjust that hero header to be a smaller width. So let's have a look at small. I think that looks clean. Let's just see medium. Yeah, I think I like that. So let's save that. So let's just jump into the front end. So as we can see, this is applied here as well now. And then we've got our base design here. Obviously I'm logged out, so I'm getting prompted to log in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and style this with CSS. All of these blocks are fully customizable, and to get the most on-brand look, you will just need to use some CSS, and that's kind of the same with every block on your store, especially for apps, just because it would be impossible to predict everyone's individual style. So I'm just going to style that now, and then I'll jump back on once I've got this styled. Okay guys, so I just got done writing the custom CSS, so you can see the page now looks a little bit different here in the theme editor. So the custom CSS is just written down here, and it basically just applies all of the styling to the theme. So all of the major customers get support with this. If you do need help with that at all, you can access our chat directly in the app and just on the bottom right here. and you'll open up the chat window and you can send us a message, and we'll be able to assist you with getting the design set up. So let me show you how it looks on the front end. So if we jump onto the website, this is the logged in view. So I can see I've got the hero banner here with a different view for my account or to redeem rewards. I've got my activity log here with how many points I've got and any actions I've taken. I've got the redemption reward. If you remember, we set this up earlier in the app. So this is our discount reward here, which we set up. And I've added the flexible redemption slider. So that essentially lets me exchange the points that I've earned to redeem a reward. So let's say, for example, I want to redeem, I've only got 153 points. So let's say that gets me $4.59. I simply hit redeem, I redeem the discount, and I get my discount code for my discount off. So I've got that. And if I just refresh, I can have a look at my orders here, and there I have got my $4.59 off my order, and I can view my discount code. It's a great way that your customers can engage, keep track of their discounts, and we also show when a discount has been used as well. This is an older discount that I had that I was testing before. And then again, like I said, ways to earn is all here, and the VIP tier benefits table, and of course, refer a friend. I can go and share my referral link here, share on email, Facebook, X, and I can refer my friends into the program. So it's a very simple overview and like a very simple setup guide for your loyalty program. There's obviously a lot more that you can do in the app. I just wanted to cover the basic setup of points, rewards, and referrals and VIP tiers. That's normally just what you need to get started. If you are interested in launching a loyalty program for your Shopify store, then do install Mage Loyalty on the App Store. I will leave the link in the description so that you can click there and install directly, and we're happy to help you out if you have any questions.